In the headlines, the Ministry of Agriculture to increase production and reduce chemical use as Dominica prepares to cater to its five-star hotels. Nurses threaten to extend the protest action for better working conditions into Tuesday. And the Nature Island Boys wins a CONCACAF Nations League qualifier over the weekend. I am Andrea Lee with the Channel 5 News. Back with the details after this.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil. Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, Minister for Agriculture Reginald Austrie has vowed to increase local production to meet the needs of the five-star resorts under construction in Dominica. Austrie says the agriculture sector has made strides since the passage of Hurricane Maria, which must be commended. He pointed out, though, that with ongoing construction of five-star resorts in the country, the ministry needs to step up its game to ensure these hotels contract local suppliers for their produce. Mr. Austrie made mention of Kempinski Resort and Spa, which utilizes 2 million pounds of fish a year, while Dominica's official production level is under 1 million pounds.
If we do not move quickly to address the issue of fish production, then we're going to have to be importing fish. And that the same thing goes for chicken, the same thing goes for pork, and we're afraid that for vegetables, we may end up in a similar situation, which is not a place where Dominica would like to be. And so we have to restructure, redesign, and refocus our agriculture, that we can provide ourselves with our food security, but we can also have sufficient food on a commercial level to sell to those hotels first and foremost. Because we do not want them to start importing fruits and vegetables, establish contracts with their suppliers, and once they get into a contract, it may be difficult for them to get out of that contract while they're struggling to do it. So we have to be very proactive at the ministry's level and at the farm level. We have to be proactive in terms of getting that aspect of our new agriculture on stream as quickly as is possible.
Austrie says government is looking to become more creative and smart in expanding the agriculture industry.
So the government itself is going to have to create initiatives to get people and to encourage people, the youngsters in particular, to move into greenhouse farming and the new things, aquaponics and hydroponics. And the government, the Prime Minister, on his return from a trip to Serbia, he told us that the Serbians were interested in assisting us technically with greenhouse technology, aquaponic technology, and hydroponic technology. And we're looking forward to that.
A concern raised by one of the resort developers is the level of chemicals from pesticides and fertilizers in the local produce. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Reginald Thomas, says steps are being taken to address this concern and ensure that food for consumption is healthy and has minimal levels of foreign chemicals.
We, as the ministry, we are looking at improving our pesticide management from the application. Well, importation first, the types of chemicals that come in, that they are not as toxic to the environment, to the people. So we are strengthening our capacities at the pesticide board to manage the pesticides that come in. Once that the pesticides are in, we'll now look at managing from the extension officer's point of view to have a greater surveillance, if you may, in terms of what is used, how it's used, the quantities, the withdrawal periods as it relates to when it was used in comparison to when the food reaches the market.
In other top stories, scores of Dominicans to receive custom-made hearing aids in May. This as phase 1 of a hearing mission was completed over the weekend. Starkey Hearing Foundation collaborated with the Ministry of Health and the Rotary Club of Dominica to carry out a screening on Saturday for people identified as experiencing hearing loss. International Development Director for Starkey Hearing Foundation, representing the Caribbean region, Kirk Richards, says the team will return in under 2 months for phase 2.
So after the phase 1, what we'll do then, we'll come back in May where we'll do a phase 2 in terms of those impressions that are taken today will be brought back to our lab where we'll create custom modes for each patient. And those will be brought back in May where we'll fit those custom modes along with the hearing aids. So we'll not only just fit the patients with the hearing aids and provide the custom modes, we also provide them with an aftercare service where we have a team in country that follows up doing aftercare. So on a monthly basis, patients that are fitted with the hearing aids come in where they can receive counseling on how to use the devices. They also receive batteries if they need more batteries. And also too, if the hearing aids are broken and needs to be repaired, they are collected and they are sent back to our head office where they get repaired or replaced.
Starkey Hearing Foundation has been doing mission work in Dominica since 2016.
So far in Dominica, we've seen roughly around close to 300 patients have been fitted with hearing aids since 2016. So the numbers within Dominica are slowly increasing as the awareness for hearing loss and hearing health care is being brought to the forefront. I just want to thank the Rotary Club of Dominica as well as the Ministry of Health for continuing to support the hearing missions within Dominica, and also too, as we travel, we bring a lot of team members from different islands to support as well. So for this mission, we have representation from Jamaica, we have St. Lucia, and also have Guyana and Trinidad.
On to police news. One man has been hospitalized after he was shot during an altercation over the weekend. Police PRO Inspector Simon Edwards has details.
The victim is 36 years old, Rudy Ailey Williams. According to information, Mr. Williams received a gunshot wound to the upper region of his body from a pistol fired by a male individual with whom he had an altercation. Williams was transported to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital, where he was attended to and admitted.
In other developments, members of the Dominica Nurses Association expected to continue protest action into Tuesday. Julian Morris has that story.
The nurses staged a protest near government headquarters on Monday against unfavorable working conditions. Nurses say they needed to remind the permanent secretary that they needed favorable interventions to resolve long-standing problems. The nurses say those among their ranks who remain in Dominica deserve better. The DNA took Monday's protest to the Ministry of Health to highlight some of their grievances, including mold and termite infestation, inadequate security for nurses, and victimization. The general theme of Monday's protest was fostering a positive work environment.
Over 50 families to receive keys to new homes at the Petit Savan resettlement in Bellevue-Chopin. The handing over ceremony is scheduled to take place on Tuesday afternoon. 38 units were handed over last December. Project manager Christopher Timmins recently shared his thoughts with us on the residents who have already moved in and made the new settlement their home.
We communicate daily. We have a team on site whose sole job it is to deal with any small issues they may have, and we deal with them immediately. But generally, everybody seems very happy, and I'm very impressed that certainly the people who've already moved in, the amount of planting they're doing, the flowers that are going in, I see yams, I see dashing being planted as well. It's turning into a real little garden village, and I'm very pleased with it.
Dominica has advanced to the 14th spot in a league of 34 teams. This as the Nature Island boys won their CONCACAF Nations League qualifier over the weekend. The local team took on the Bahamas in a thrilling match, giving the visitors a sound defeat of 4-0. Here is Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Football Association, Gerald George, with more.
Dominica defeated Bahamas 4-0 on Saturday in front of a packed Windsor Park Stadium in the CONCACAF Nations League match. Julian Wade scored in the 24th and 35th minute of play. Travis Joseph scored in the 30th minute and Brian Thomas in the 85th minute. The victory means that Dominica will come out number 14 in the league of 34 teams. This means that Dominica has now gained B status in the CONCACAF Nations League.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Si ou ni maladie HIV et bien maladie sexuelle, si ou pas protéger corps là ou ka ni sexe avec plusieurs monde, ça ka mette la vie ou en gros danger. Ou ka exposer tout partenaire au poison et que ça qui ka vini avec maladie. Servez yon condom chaque fois ou ka ni sexe. Changer qui est important pour découvrir maladie à bonheur ou ça vivre en bonne santé même si ou ni maladie HIV. Pour responsabilité, protéger corps et puis les autres. Examiner corps. Aider du bout si même maladie HIV et l'autre maladie sexuelle.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
Welcome back. A delegation of Caribbean Community CARICOM foreign ministers met with Mr. Guaido and a delegation of his representatives in Barbados on Saturday, 23rd March 2019. Mr. Guaido joined the discussion via video conference. CARICOM foreign ministers acknowledged the meeting as a significant initial step in a series of potential engagements that should unfold by agreed mechanisms within the framework of the Constitution of Venezuela and the rule of law. The meeting provided a greater understanding of Mr. Guaido's views and perspectives on how to move forward in the search for peaceful solutions, as well as his willingness to take part in meaningful discussions. Participants accepted the benefit of further engagement. They also expressed deep appreciation to Canada for facilitating the convening of the meeting. This meeting was held in accordance with a decision by CARICOM heads to facilitate a peaceful resolution to the Venezuela crisis through a meaningful internal process. And U.S. President Donald Trump pledged investment in a rare meeting on Friday with 5 Caribbean leaders. Here again is Julian Morris.
The White House says the leaders have sided with the United States in backing Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Guaido as head of state. Trump met with the leaders from the Bahamas, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Jamaica, and St. Lucia at his private club in Palm Beach, Florida on Friday. Trump promised them that a high-level delegation from the Overseas Private Investment Corporation would visit their nations in the next 90 days. Following the meeting, Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness said, quote, "It's obviously important that it's not just talk, that there will be real investment." The nations have broken from other members of the Caribbean community, known as CARICOM, in their support for Guaido. The organization has officially advocated for talks between President Nicolas Maduro and Guaido, and most of its members have rejected resolutions by the Organization of American States supporting Guaido. Reuters says the backing of the 5 for Guaido led to the meeting with Trump, though the White House did not specifically tie the carrot of investment to that support. Guaido, who heads Venezuela's National Assembly, invoked the Constitution to assume the interim presidency in January, saying Maduro's election last year was not legitimate. Maduro, who still has the support of Venezuela's military, has clung to power with the support of Russia, China, and Cuba. Holness says Trump and the leaders did not discuss Chinese investment issues.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evo.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evo.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
To end the news, the headlines again. The Ministry of Agriculture to increase production and reduce chemical use as Dominica prepares to cater to its 5-star hotels. Nurses threaten to extend a protest action for better working conditions into Tuesday. And the Nature Island Boys wins their CONCACAF Nations League qualifier over the weekend. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access or past the newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us tomorrow.